Welcome to The Secrets of Success. By following the proven techniques of the guests who appear on this series, you'll learn that even successful people run into detours and failures, and how you can apply their success techniques to change your life.
You're now listening to the most unique show on radio, the show dedicated to making you a success. Marilyn Anderson wants you to live like a millionaire, even if you're $1 million short. Today we'll find out how. Marilyn, thanks for being with us today.
Oh, it's a pleasure to be here, Bill.
Marilyn, how did your book, that's pretty much the title of your book, right? How to Live Like a Millionaire?
How to Live Like a Millionaire When You're $1 Million Short.
How did this come about?
Well, it came about because I used to have a steady job and a steady paycheck like so many people do, but then I decided to go into show business, and I would still have the opportunity to go like fabulous places and buy things and do things, and all my friends with regular jobs were doing nothing, and they would always say, how does Marilyn live? In fact, the 3 questions of the universe were, is there a God? What is the meaning of life? And how does Marilyn live? So I decided I would reveal all my secrets, and that's when I wrote the book, How to Live Like a Millionaire.
You're up there with some high-class people, with God, etc. But we should tell our audience, when you say working in another job, you have a master's in biology, and you were, if am I correct, working at the National Academy of Science. Is that right?
That's right. I have a couple degrees in biology and physiology, and I was working as a biomedical information specialist. And then one day I said, I don't want to do this. I want to be a star. So I quit my job, sold my car, sold my furniture, sold my boyfriend, didn't get much for him, and I moved to New York to become a star. And a week after I got there, I got into a Broadway show, and I sang and I danced and I acted, and the show closed, not because I wasn't great, but, and then I did stand up for a while, and I used to go on back to back with another guy, people might have heard of, Jerry Seinfeld.
Whatever happened to that guy? I don't think I've heard of him.
I don't know. You don't hear about him anymore. And then one day I said, let's see, I either have to take a vacation or get a job. So let's see, a vacation or a job. So I took a vacation and I came out to LA and I just stayed out here. And I thought I was going to do acting, but I started writing. And that was really my true passion. And so I, never went back to biology again. And I just kept writing, and I wrote for TV shows, and I wrote some films, and then I wrote some books, and that's my life now. And I'm really glad I made the change.
Marilyn, on several points. Number one, that's a great beginning story for our audience, because sometimes we feel that if we were an accountant in school or a teacher, that's what we have to be for the next 50 years. So you showed our audience you were at a high level in your profession. You moved from it. You went on. You made changes and did what's necessary. So I think already you've given us some tips for success. Before we get into the meat and potatoes of your book, I want to urge our audience that if you don't have a pencil and paper handy, you are going to want it, because Marilyn is going to give you some advice. She's going to give you some websites, some places to go, phone numbers, etc. And you're going to say later, what did she say? I forgot that. Was it a plus or a minus or a dot or a .com? So get the pencil and paper handy. Now, you went into writing this book, How to Be a Millionaire When You're $1 Million Short. Tell us exactly what is that about. If someone picks that up, what are they going to learn?
Well, they are going to learn how to do all kinds of fabulous things that usually cost a lot of money, only they're going to be able to do it either at a supreme discount or actually absolutely free. And all these are win-win solutions. They're not scams. They're things that are available to everybody. And it's very exciting. It's gratifying to me because I've told people things to do and they said, oh, I don't believe it. I don't believe it. I mean, I have a girlfriend. I told her about a place when we could travel where she could go spend 6 nights at a 4-star resort in Spain for free. And she said, oh, that's impossible. And then she went and had the best vacation of her life. So there are all kinds of things that people do not know about. And even now during the pandemic, I'm telling people how to live like a millionaire when you're $1 million short, even when you're stuck at home.
And that's a great, another point that we bring out. During these times, people have been so bored, gone through so much, I guess have, we're going to say nicely, mental health issues for all of us, even if it's not of the severe type, but we just need some changes in life. you're giving us some hope today, and you've proved it. You've lived this. This is the way you live your life. And also for a lot of us, maybe this change can open up a new avenue where we're kind of coming off a dark period and say, gee, it was a rough year, but that's the best thing that ever happened to me. Now, I think your book begins with, you talk about theater tickets. And of course, here we are in New York. That's a basis for our show. Tell us some tricks about getting theater tickets at a discount rate.
Well, again, when theater was available, which it's not now, I would tell people how to go to lotteries, how to go to rush seats, and they could see Hamilton if they were lucky for $10. Well, of course, now theaters aren't going. But did you know there are about 100 different Broadway shows that you can see for free? And that's simply by going to YouTube. You can see Mamma Mia on Broadway. You can see, if you have kids, you can see Wicked. You could see Rent. You could see Matilda the Musical, Legally Blonde. I watched it the other night, and not only do you get to see the show that's on Broadway, you get front row seats because you watch it from your home, and they even show you the lyrics so you can sing along with your kids. So if you like Broadway shows, especially musicals like I do, you know how much it would cost for a family of four to go to a Broadway show? It would cost, probably $500, not to mention the cabs or the transportation and the food or whatever. This way you can all sit in your living room, watch a Broadway show, sing along with it, have a grand time, and it costs you $0.
Oh, we love that number. And as you said, these are not scams. It's not something you are pulling on people. These are offers that are out there that most of us just don't know about. Am I correct?
Exactly. And some of them, have always been there and we didn't know it. And some of them have sprung up due to the pandemic. There have also been lots of shows given by your favorite singers, concerts that are now available for free online, whether it's on YouTube or put in the name of whether it's Bette Midler or whether it's Hugh Jackman, and they're doing special shows online. And sometimes they do it for charity, so you can donate if you want, but oftentimes it will cost you nothing, and you can watch a whole concert, a 2-hour concert, that you would pay $200 a ticket for if you were in person and sitting in the back row, and now you're front and center. Again, if you haven't seen Hamilton, tickets for Hamilton were running at a minimum $200 a ticket, up to $2,000 a ticket. Now, just pay for Disney Plus for 1 month for $8.99, and you can watch Hamilton as if you're in the first row.
Marilyn, I think another great point, and I think you made it before, is that people can now tell their friends that they're doing something different rather than just complain or say same old, same old. They've listened to the show. They're going to find opportunities they didn't know about and at reduced cost, which is always fun because then our neighbors look at us and say, how did you get so smart? And I kind of want to hang around with you if you're getting free tickets or discounted deals, et cetera, et cetera. So it can up our personalities. It can get us out, especially now after this difficult period, and make life a lot of fun.
Well, not only that, you talked about getting smart. Do you know that you could go to Harvard or Yale for free? Actually, there's about 5,000 different courses that are available, not just from Harvard and Yale, but from universities all over the country. And they're for free. And whether it's in science or philosophy or religion, or Yale even has a course on happiness, and they're totally free. You go to Coursera.x or Coursera.org or edx.org or ClassCentral.com. And whether you want to take a class in something you'd like to learn, or if you want to advance your career, or if you just want to have some extra fulfillment in your life, as I said, there's about 5,000 different classes that you can take for free. If you want to get a certificate, you can pay a little extra. But there's so many things out there to learn and to enjoy while you're staying home. Another thing, of course, is TED Talks. TED Talks are great inspirational talks where you can learn all kinds of interesting things, and it's totally free from your home. So there's no reason not to not only enjoy life, but expand your horizons in terms of learning and getting fulfillment.
And, it's again, as you've been mentioning, just to drop into the conversation, I learned this at a course at Harvard. Wait. When did you go to Harvard? When did you go to Yale, University of Pennsylvania, Dartmouth? All these schools that you're talking about. And one is just for interest. It's going to make us more interesting, brighter, smarter, more fun to talk to. But again, the jealousy factor, we always like to make that friend or neighbor a little bit jealous. Marilyn, at this point in the show, I'd like to remind our audience that if you're just tuning in, you're listening to The Secrets of Success on the voice of Nassau Community College, 90.3 WHPC. I'm your host, Bill Horan. Our guest today is Marilyn Anderson, Anderson. Her book is How to Live Like a Millionaire. And Marilyn, would you tell us where we can get the book and a website where we can find out more?
Well, the book is available at Amazon, and you can get it in paperback or on Kindle, and it's at howtolivelikeamillionaire.com is the website, and you could just go to howtolivelikeamillionaire.us, and that'll take you straight to an Amazon link for it.
And this is one book I can definitely say by the work I did to prepare for the show, that if you take one tip out of the book and use it once, it'll more than pay for the book. You'll have a lot of fun, and it'll open up a whole new world to you. So if you're tired of where you are, if you don't want to make major changes, but if you'd like to go to a show, get some clothes inexpensively, etc., this is the right book for you. And Marilyn, also to our audience, if you've missed some of the items Marilyn talked about here, you can go to nccradio.org and get a replay of this show on one of our podcasts and write down everything that Marilyn's been talking about. Marilyn, what about, especially in a place like New York and you're in Los Angeles, what about tickets to shows or being part of a TV show or a taping? Is that available to us?
Well, again, it was much more available before the pandemic, and things will start to open up again. But there are lots of places when they do where you can go and become part of a TV show. Now I think they're mostly using people who are working on the show. But I do have an assignment for all your listeners, because I want to tell you that a lot of people have money that they do not know they have. And for instance, I told a friend about this, and it's just a simple website that you have to go to online, and I said, you've got to go to this, you've got money. And he didn't believe me, and I said, please just go sign up at missingmoney.com. And I had to force him to do it. And about 4 months later, he got a letter from Texas saying, we're sending you a check. And he said, this can't be real. And then he got a check for $12,000, and all he had to do was sign up. And this is a place called missingmoney.com. And what it is, a lot of people have unclaimed property. Now, people would say, property? I don't own any property, but that's not what unclaimed property is. Unclaimed property is money that your state is holding for you, and they have billions of dollars in money that is owed to people, and all people have to do is go put their name and city in which they live, and if they have money, the state will send it to them. So missingmoney.com has most of the states. If your state is not on there, then go to your state website and put in unclaimed property, and then you put your name and the name of the city in which you live, and it'll pop up if you have a file. Now, I did it the first time, and I had $450 that I did not know, and they just mailed it to me. Then I did it about a month later. It said you had money. Oh, I had like 22 cents. But the point is, there are billions of dollars just waiting for people to claim it. So whether it's yours, or you might check for your parents, for your grandparents, you might have $10, you might have $1,000, you might have $100,000. People are not aware of this. And like I said, it does not cost anything. You don't have to pay anything. Just go to missingmoney.com and do it for every city and state in which you lived. So a lot of people these days, Bill, are moving. You know, I lived in New York, I lived in Philadelphia, I lived in Boston, so I would go to missingmoney.com, or I go to all the states in which I ever lived, and I put my name and the city in which I lived, and then it'll pop up. And if my name appears, I just then fill out a form, and if there's money waiting for me, guess what? The state will send me a check, and it doesn't cost me anything.
I love that. I think our audience will love it. It's a lot of fun, and honestly, it sounds like almost the easiest thing, like putting a spoon in a cup of coffee, that while we're on the computer, to go to missingmoney.com. Is that correct? Spelled just the way it sounds?
Yes, exactly. And again, most states are there, but if your state, it may say, well, your state isn't there, then you would go to your state's website. Or if you've lived in several different states, go to every state in which you live, put your name, go to unclaimed property and put your name and city and see you might have money just waiting for you to claim.
Wouldn't we all love that? And what a great story to tell people. And as you said, what did you get, $450 from one of them?
Yes. And my friend got $12,000.
Oh, I think you're going to make a lot of fans by the end of today's show. I read in your book, like there's organizations that a lot of us are part of, the AAA, the AARP, the local town's Chamber of Commerce. Why are they important and how does that help us?
You know, people forget to use these, but so many of these organizations have discounts when you go places, whether you're traveling or did you know even a phone company here has a reward system where if you go to the rewards, they'll give you dinner at a place, 2 for the price of 1, and make sure that you take advantage of all these reward places because like there's the entertainment book, entertainment.com, there's Groupons, there's Living Social, there's restaurant.com. And if you sign up for these places, it doesn't cost anything to sign up. But, you know, even when I take out food, you know, since I've been eating a lot more at home, you can use these Groupons. And I don't just buy the original Groupon. I wait till they have sales, which is just about every week. And then you get not only a discount, but you get a discount on a discount. So again, look at your AAA or your ARP or your all these kinds of coupons, and it also introduces you to new places that you might not have been to before. I've found some wonderful restaurants by going to restaurant.com, getting a bargain because I have a certificate or a Groupon, and then I'll go back there and I found a new place.
And this is a great way, as we're all getting back into society again, just to introduce your friends to new things that you're doing, to kind of get back into play. And instead of looking kind of negatively at the world, which I guess most of us have been doing the last year, to look very positively. And something when I was going through your book that dawned on me, when you're saving money, one of the neat things about that, you're not paying taxes on it. So if you said to me, you can win $100, well, if I earn or win $100, that's income. I do technically have to pay some tax on it. But if I get clothes or a restaurant meal or a theater for any type of savings, that all stays in my pocket.
Yes, and when I do go to theater, when things open up again, you know, there's all kinds of groups that you can join to get free theater tickets. If I take someone to the theater, they don't have to know that I didn't pay for it, the tickets. And guess what? They'll probably take me to dinner. So it works. And it's a great way to make new friends, too. If you made a friend, you invite them to theater. It's a great thing to do with them. Or now that things are opening up at home, you can invite someone over to watch a Broadway show with you at home. And another thing I like to do, you know, we haven't been traveling as much lately. But here's another thing that if you like to travel and you haven't been able to, there are all kinds of virtual tours of foreign countries. You can see the 7 wonders of the world just from staying at home. And whether it's someplace you want to go to when things open up again, or it's someplace that you might not ever go to. I mean, I'd like to make it a fun thing to do for a Sunday or a Saturday. Say you're going to go to Italy. So take a virtual tour of Italy for the day. You can go to all the museums and get a docent tour. Plus, you know, make lunch, make an Italian lunch, then go to Florence, then go to Rome, then go to Elba, and then have an Italian dinner. You can make a whole experience out of it, and it becomes something fun to do, not just a chore. And guess what? You don't have to spend the money on the airfare. You don't have to wait in line. You don't have to sit on a plane for, 13 hours. And you've enjoyed being up close and personal to all the wonderful things you can see in a foreign land that you might not even be able to go to.
And Marilyn, I'm thinking now that some of our listeners may say, well, gee, I'm not that good on the computer or adept at it. But this is another opportunity where you can get together with a younger person or someone who is more astute on the computer. You, the listener, have your own information that you've gotten from Marilyn and know where to go, what to do, how to make these savings, how to see if you have any money coming to you. So you can educate the young person with your knowledge. They can educate you on how to go through the computer. And you can both get something out of it, whether it's a relative, an in-law, a grandchild, a niece, or a nephew. So it makes it fun in many respects. aspects. Before we go ahead, Marilyn, I want to again let our audience know, if you're just tuning in, this wonderful show is The Secrets of Success, and it's on the voice of Nassau Community College, 90.3 WHPC. I'm your host, Bill Horan, but the person you want to remember today is Marilyn Anderson, spelled Anderson. Her book is How to Live Like a Millionaire When You're a Million Short. Marilyn, tell us again, where do we get the book and a website where we can get more information?
HowToLiveLikeAMillionaire.com is the website, and you can get the book at Amazon, and you can have a direct link by HowToLiveLikeAMillionaire.us. You know, we talk about saving money, but how about making some money even while you're just staying at home? Does that sound good to you?
Oh, I love
listeners?
that. Come on, tell us.
Well, you know, at the beginning of the pandemic, when everybody was staying home, they said, oh, good, I can finally, clean out my closets. I can organize my closets. But what I say is don't just organize them. I say go into your closet and come out with cash. You know, so many of us have clothes or household items that we haven't worn or used in years, yet they just sit there. Like when I was a kid, my grandparents and gave me presents and stuff, and although they might have had some sentimental value, or they were sitting in my jewelry box for years and even decades. And so I decided I would take a picture of them, so I still had them, but since I wasn't wearing them, and I took them to a place called TheRealReal.com. Now, TheRealReal.com is a consignment shop, and if you have jewelry that you haven't been wearing, they can either come to your house and get it, or you can do it all through the mail. And I literally made thousands of dollars taking them some of my jewelry that I had not worn in decades. And they also take upscale clothes, designer clothes, and that's called TheRealReal.com. And you can either buy new things for yourself on their site, or they will just pay you cold, hard cash. Now, if you have other items that might not be so high end, there's places like Poshmark.com, there's Etsy.com. For household items, there's places like OfferUp, which is in your neighborhood, or Nextdoor.com. And again, I had things just sitting in my cupboard that I wasn't using, and you can put them out for sale and actually make some money on these. And then, obviously, it's also a place to buy things. And if you want to get things for nothing, so many people are giving away things now. Also on Nextdoor, there's all kinds of free items, but there's also a group called Buy Nothing. And Buy Nothing, people just give and take. And you don't have to trade, you don't have to barter. People will just put up things that they're giving away, and I've gotten brand new shirts. People are giving away gifts. They're giving away all kinds of things. So this is a way both for you to make some money and also to get things for free or to donate for free. So these are some terrific ways. OfferUp, Nextdoor.com, Poshmark, Etsy, TheRealReal.com. And it's a way to refurbish your place if you want to. A lot of people were giving away desks, and of course a lot of people now are working at home. So you can redo a whole home office. In fact, there's all kinds of ways to learn. I have a girlfriend who actually painted her sofa. I never knew you could paint a sofa, but she went on YouTube, and YouTube has tons of ways to learn things. She learned how to paint her sofa, and she's got a whole new living room now. So it's a great time to redo and redecorate without having to spend hardly any money.
And Marilyn, you gave us, you said, I think one website was The Real Real. Is that spelled the REAL and then REAL again, or is there another spelling?
Correct. It's the REAL.com. And give them my name and you'll get an extra discount too.
All right. I don't think we've ever had such a productive show, and we've been on 33 years. So this is fantastic. And Marilyn, again, to our audience, I just want to remind you, if it's hard getting all this down or you're kind of overwhelmed, you can go back and listen to a podcast of the show. Go to nccradio.org. That's nccradio.org. Just look for The Secrets of Success. It's free. Go to the podcast. re-listen to the show and, of course, have a pencil and paper and write all this down that's Marilyn's telling you, you can get this missing money. Then you can go out and go see shows cheap. You can buy clothes cheap. You can get the benefits from the AAA, from the AARP, and lots of good organizations that's right there in your town. You've been seeing them every day and didn't realize that by saying either a magic word like senior or veteran or something, you can get benefits and discounts. Marilyn, what about clothes? I think I read one story in your book. You got a cashmere sweater or something that was like $1,600 for about 10% of the cost.
Right. Well, I have rules to live like a millionaire by. And one of the first rules is ask, or make an ask of yourself. And the thing is, you can go to some stores and you might see something that's a certain price and it's too much. And the first thing you should do is ask, is this going to go on sale anytime soon? And the second rule is make friends. Make friends with the sales clerk. I had seen a cashmere jacket that was like $1,000. It was beautiful, but I couldn't spend that much. So I asked, is it going to go on sale? And I asked the sales girl, will you call me if it does? And so she would call me every few weeks and say, oh, it just went on sale. It's only $600. Well, that's too much. Oh, it's only $400. Well, after about a month, she said, oh, there's only one left and it's down to $300. So I went in and I said, well, it's really pretty, but it's still too much. She said, let me go in the back. She came back and she said, I'm going to give you the friends and family price, $149. And that was for $1,000 jacket. And it was all because I asked. And do you know there's another magic word, and it's called price match. And some stores will price match. Now, Nordstrom actually will price match. If you see a dress somewhere else and it's less, Nordstrom will match the price. Also, I will never go into a Staples or a Best Buy, and whether I'm getting a computer or a toner, I will always ask them to price match, because sometimes even if their items are on sale, price matching it will be cheaper. So when you go to Staples or Best Buy or even Nordstrom, make sure that you ask them to price match. And oftentimes, we all carry our phones with us. They will even price match Amazon. So if I see, like I said, whether it's a computer or a toner or some kind of computer paper, I'll ask them to price match, oftentimes with Amazon. And over the course of a year, you can save thousands of dollars.
I think you are on the favorite people list of everyone who listens to the show now, because you've given us so many great tips, so many things that can really pull us out of a tough period in our lives that we've been going through, but also to make life fun, to make it more interesting, and literally save us money wherever we're going that I certainly didn't know about. And I get to talk to people on this show, some great people every week. Marilyn, we want to thank you for being with us. We want to remind our audience, today we've been interviewing Marilyn Anderson, spelled Anderson. Her book is How to Live Like a Millionaire When You're a Million Short. Marilyn, thanks so much for being with us today.
Oh, it's been great fun, and I hope people will go out and save money and enjoy their life more, because that's what it's all about.
And give us that website one more time for your book.
HowToLiveLikeAMillionaire.com.
Easy enough to remember. Again, thanks for all the great tips. We'd like our audience to know that you've been listening to The Secrets of Success on the voice of Nassau Community College, 90.3 WHPC. I'm your host, Bill Horan, asking you to please join us again next week at the same time when we will continue our journey to success.